Alright guys, here is the 1960s General Electric 10 transistor solid state radio with AFC, automatic fine tuning control. I just showed you this in another video when I was working on the 1959 Motorola radio there. And then my next project will be this General Electric audio amplifier that came out of a console stereo. That's another video, another day. I'm not going to work on that right now. That's got a lot of issues. But anyway, real quick, I showed you this a while ago. I said it had low volume, and as I suspected, those two capacitors right there, those are 0.5 UF. They were both very almost like dead. And what I did, because General Electric circuit boards are very delicate, these older ones like this, and you can very easily tear the solder traces right off of these things, especially with this kind of age on them. So since they weren't shorted, I just took two 0.1, or I actually used 1 UF, 1 microfarad capacitors, and I tacked them on the back of the board, on the back side, which would be like, I'll show you an instance here, like a circuit board like that. I just tacked them on the back. Make sure the polarity is correct, minus on the minus and positive on the positive. So I jumped them both. One was on the ratio detector and one was the coupling capacitor. They were both barely registering. So once I jumped them, I jumped new capacitors on the back, and it works great now. I'm not going to do that very long because copyright. So anyway, works, and it's got excellent volume. And one more thing I want to show you guys real quick before I put the back on this and conclude this video. This radio is going to require a new battery pack, because this radio actually operates on 4 AA batteries, and somebody, I guess trying to make it work, I don't know, put a 9-volt battery on it. Now, that's not a real critical thing, but I wouldn't do that, because now you're introducing 9 volts to an electronic device that's meant to operate on 6 volts. You got a little bit of tolerance, but you know, with something this kind of age on it, with these germanium transistors and whatnot in here, it's even got these epoxy dome capacitors there, or they're transistors. Yeah, I wouldn't. So I'm going to have to order a new. I don't have one. It's a long battery pack, takes 4 AA's, 2 on each side, and it would snap on the end of it. A lot of people will see these snaps and they think, oh, it takes a 9 volt. Well, not necessarily. Anytime you get an old radio like that, this one should say, I don't know if it does. The camera's not going to work with me today, so it's tired. But you always want to make sure, you always want to look at your, I can't put that on one-handed, but anyway, always check your voltages on your radio. It should tell you on the back the batteries that it requires and what voltage it is. So like in this case, yeah, the 9-volt battery works, but I'm going to immediately go order a battery holder for it where it takes the 4 AA's as it should. You don't want to put any extra stress on these old transistors. You know, especially those old epoxy dome. It really wouldn't hurt too much other things, but you get the voltage too high in your capacitors, the values will be different, and your radio just won't start operating correctly. So always check your battery supply. Thanks for watching, guys.